Hi, my name is Savannah. I'm going to be talking to you all about POTS, or Postural Orthostatic Tachycardia Syndrome, which is the diagnosis I have. It is a neurologic and autonomic nervous system condition, and it affects folks in ways that look different for everyone, but there are a lot of similarities as it relates to regulation of circulation, of temperature, and heart rate regulation, especially when moving or changing positions, primarily when laying down or sitting to getting up and standing up. Can often lead to fainting, which is super fun for us and is the reason that I have some scars on my ankles from falling out of the shower. So I'm gonna go over I have my iPad here as well as my journal, and I'm going to go over some of the tests, the names of the tests that I had to undergo in order to get this diagnosis. I am really privileged to live in an area where there is a specialist that is willing to diagnose this, and it is his primary focus in his practice. So in seeking out this diagnosis, it was a long time coming because I only recently heard about it. It's been about 1.5 years since I got this diagnosis, but it's been, decade and a half of experiencing these symptoms, which I had just referred to as like my weird health stuff. That was unexplainable and medically gaslit forever. And it's not in my head, and thanks to that neurologist for listening to me. So I had to do what's called a tilt table test. It's pretty self-explanatory, that one. You are tilted on a table and your vitals are tracked while you are tilted in different positions. I had a ton of blood and urine tests, really niche ones that the center I had gone to do my labs, they were like, haven't had to do this before. Weird. So yeah, that was unique, and it's a lot of blood to lose for someone who is prone to fainting. Also did a test that measures the autonomic nerves that control sweating. That's called a QSART or QSART test. An autonomic breathing test, which measures your blood rate and pressure response while exercising. A tuberculin skin test, and a skin nerve biopsy, and an echocardiogram, and then just general neurologic tests, and then a lot of ruling out other things that could explain it. So that's just the technical side of seeking a diagnosis. Those are the things I had to do with the specialist. In terms of what POTS looks like for me in the day-to-day, I have a long list of symptoms and characteristics of what that has looked like. So really high heart rate, chest pain, feeling lightheaded, fainting, shortness of breath, migraines and headaches, sensitivity to noise and to light, excessive sweating like on my head and torso, while my arms and legs and hands and feet are freezing at the same time. Difficulty swallowing, nausea, fatigue, difficulty sleeping, dizziness, brain fog, weakness, especially fine motor weakness, GI issues, clamminess, anxiety, flushing, low blood pressure. I get full early on in eating meals, poor memory, loss of appetite, shakiness, bloating, indigestion. I have a really hard time regulating my temperature, and I already kind of spoke to the circulation and heart rate piece, but in the summer months, especially when it's really hot outside, it can really freak my body out when I'm overheated, but also really cold at the same time. And even in cold, sometimes I can get really overheated, even when it's not, it doesn't call for that with the weather. Just little things can really exhaust my body and confuse it. When I stand up from laying down or sitting, if I do it too quickly, I feel really dizzy. I feel like I'm gonna black out. I often describe myself as feeling full of sand. And my blood pressure is always really low, and my heart rate is always really high. So what's high for me with my blood pressure is like 90/60. That's on the higher end. And with my heart rate, it's usually around 90 resting, and about 140 if I'm lightly walking. Obviously it goes up from there if I'm like walking up a hill or upstairs or doing strenuous exercise. There's a lot of things that were recommended by that neurologist, mostly electrolytes and eating at least 4 grams of sodium a day or salt, drinking a ton of water, getting good sleep, exercising, specifically recumbent exercise, and wearing waist-high compression stockings. A lot of what I see on the internet is the level of pressure, the measurement is called, like the acronym is mmHg, which is millimeter of mercury. I don't know, but the range there that I see on the internet most often is 20 to 30 mmHg, but my neurologist had recommended 30 to 40, which is really tight. And I'm gonna make videos also about neurodivergence and being on the spectrum and sensory differences and sensitivities, and I'm really sensitive to pressure in clothing, and that tightness is, I mean, I'm sure it's a lot for anyone, 30 to 40, but I've only been able to successfully make it work while flying because I'm scared of getting blood clots, which I have a blood clotting disorder, which has nothing to do with POTS. However, it is intense to be squeezed that tight. So to those who can do that every day like they're supposed to, I have extreme respect. I have things that have worked for me other than getting good sleep, and staying hydrated, and being on it with the salt and the electrolytes. I've quite the stack of things over here that I wanted to share that have been helpful for me. Things that I keep on me, products that I like. So I will just be reaching over to this pile and pulling them over to me and talking about them. So I really like this blood pressure cuff. It is portable. I know they have wrist ones. My neurologist had recommended one that can be worn higher up on the arm, like is seen in, you know, a medical clinic more often. It's more accurate. This can sync to your phone. You can find this on, you know, Amazon or wherever else on the internet. Not sure about stores. This neck fan, when regulating temperature, this, you can just recharge it. I love this thing. I recently flew, and walking around the airport, I mean, it's just the best. But this totally saved me recently. I'm trying to turn it off. Okay. Apple Watch, it's dead right now, or I would have it on, but just to watch trends with my heart rate and my O2 levels. I like to have that data when figuring out patterns for me personally, especially being able to compare that to what posture, the pee in pots I was in, and how that relates to my blood pressure. I also keep these things on me. I have a little bag that I carry these things around in. Puke bag. This is a portable instant cold pack. It's an ice pack that you can pop and cool down with if you're overheated. For nausea, I have a peppermint essential oil roll-on and some mints, and Zofran. This is prescription for nausea. Also, it's also kind of like sensory, but peppermint lip balm can help me with nausea too. Propanolol, and when all of this turns into a subsequent panic attack, benzo. That is all really helpful. And then electrolyte hydration pills. This is the brand Key Nutrients. This is what my provider had recommended. It has B6, calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, zinc, chloride, sodium, potassium, and then straight up salt. In my day-to-day, I take Metadrine in the morning, which helps with my low blood pressure, and then I take metoprolol, which helps with my high heart rate. And then this is the magnesium I'm taking right now at night, and I am, this is just water, I don't need to show it, but just trying to stay really hydrated with electrolytes. There's, I mean, a million different brands. I like Element or LMNT, the letters, and Liquid IV is another good one. It gets expensive fast. I need to get the energy and motivation to do this, but I did get little glass vials, little tiny like 1 ounces, and bulk Himalayan sea salt, and sugar-free electrolytes, and I want to mix like equal parts so that I am throughout the day getting my 4 grams of salt to keep myself afloat on the POTS front. But yeah, that's a way I want to save money and do what I'm supposed to do. But yeah, I'm sure there's a lot more I could be doing to help myself deal with this disorder or diagnosis, syndrome, if you will. So I'm hoping to find some sort of community on the internet and let this algorithm connect me with folks who are doing different things or similar things, or if this is helpful for anyone who is curious if they have POTS, or has newly diagnosed and maybe the provider didn't share these things with them. Yeah, just hoping this helps and looking to learn more. But yeah, thought I'd share. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to connecting.